Hi, I'm John Martin, President and founder of Parke Without Reverse. Today I have the unfortunate news to break to all of Parke County that effective immediately, Parke Without Reverse will suspend regular operations. Really the only person that can prevent that from happening at this point is you, watching at home. Become a member, make a financial contribution, volunteer your time. This has become too much for one person or a small group of people to do. We need your help to keep this going. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, Lisa, are you and Amber both going to speak, or?
Yeah, I'm here for PCI, and then I'm here with her for Main Street.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so last time I was here, I let you guys know that we were looking into new windows for the depot, just the quality of them and the energy efficiency. It's time to address that. So we got a quote back from Midwest Windows, which our organization was really pleased with. It came in at $11,086. In order to make those windows a little more time period appropriate and put in the vertical grids and then color match them so that they match the building that we just painted, that's going to add an additional $3,700. So still overall, you know, good investment, and we need to do it. But I was coming to you tonight to see if there would be any interest from the council to contribute to that project and help us offset that increase in cost.
Well, I hate to table it, but we're two members short. So,
yeah, okay.
I mean, I would like the full board to weigh in on that.
Sure. Okay.
And I don't know whether Melissa's.
She's just running a little late.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, you know, I'd be inclined to help in some fashion. I'm not sure what the majority would approve, but, you know, I think we should. It's an important asset to the town, and it's a neat old building. So, my thought on it, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a few more people here.
Sure.
How soon are you doing that?
We're going to have it scheduled probably later this week. So he's 6 to 8 weeks out, and then I'll have a timeline. And we do plan to move forward. So right now I'm waiting on him to bring the color match samples out so that we can choose.
And are they installing or just making?
Yeah, they're installing. That's complete start to finish with the installation, and then they'll do the finishing on the exterior of the windows to make sure that everything's, you know, the way that it needs to be. So, and then second note, you're all invited to the Main Street celebration dinner tomorrow night. It's at 6 o'clock in the community center building. So feel free to join us. We have Fiesta Buffet, and we'll have our meeting during that time as well.
You may see me there. I'm going to run over to the courthouse after that.
Bring me up.
So, Amber, are you ready? Or
She's nervous.
I'm Amber. I am one of the owners of Havenly's Expressions over here on the square. The other part of me stood me up tonight. So I wanted to thank you all, first of all, for the donation to the block party. Heather and I are heading the block party, and so we really appreciate that. We have a lot of things planned. We have blow-up games. We have food trucks, that kind of thing coming in. But the reason that I'm here tonight is we would like to do a beer garden. We'd like to have one, and the VFW would basically run that for us. They would obtain the permit. We would partition it off, have somebody checking IDs, making sure nobody takes it out onto the street, things like that. You know, wristbands if we need to. So we're just coming basically to get approval and see if we can do that.
well, anybody have a comment on that?
When is that?
July 27th.
Okay, yeah, I've got it. So it's 27th.
So
Okay.
you guys would ensure that you meet all of the requirements through the state that's illegal then?
Yeah, the VFW would take care of the permit itself, and they'll provide a certificate of insurance and.
And then you mentioned security. Have you got somebody lined up for security?
They will take care of the licensed bartender, not to cut you off. They will take care of the licensed bartender as well as an additional employee/volunteer that's licensed through them for the ID check.
And where would it be?
It is on Jefferson, just down from the jail?
Yes.
North of the jail?
Yes, we plan on having the band facing this direction, so it would just be just on the other side of that.
Bill, comment? Do you have any?
I'm not opposed. Would they need some kind of a variance?
One motion on this.
Yeah, you guys would have to approve it. I mean,
Okay.
well, you don't have to, but I mean, if you guys are gonna allow it, you'd have to make some.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, what is it we just approved? We're approving a block party that has, well, just a clarification, a block party that's having alcohol, I guess, but it's not,
Well, it's beer. It
Beer.
sounds like, I mean, that's all they asked for was beer.
Yes, the permit they obtain, I believe, is a two-way.
So beer and wine.
But I
Yeah.
don't know that they intend to bring wine at this point in time.
No hard liquor though.
Correct.
No, we don't plan to do wine. We don't want to step on the old gel, the drunk
Okay,
tank, that
so-
kind of thing.
okay.
So we're just planning on just beer.
So I guess you want location is from where to where then?
yeah, clarify that. I'm trying to visualize that.
North of,
So it'd be on Jefferson Street.
Just right out here, right?
Yeah, either the band would go in front of the jail, is what you're thinking at this time? Or is the band going to face the north?
And is going to face us this direction, so it would be right here. The band,
The jail's back here.
yeah, so it would be, the band is up here facing.
Oh, okay, you're gonna put the
We're gonna
band
have
up
the
at
tent and
36.
tables.
So it would
that was our
be
idea.
in the, towards the middle of Jefferson going
Okay.
north.
Is the street already closed down? For that?
Well, that was my follow-up question. That's how you close
Yeah,
the street.
we'll have to
We
close
will
the
need
street.
the street closed.
By what time that day?
The block party starts at 5 and it runs to 9. So
4.
I'd say 3, 4 o'clock if possible.
Yeah, okay. Well, most of the members on that street are most of them are members of Main Street, so
Yes.
they're aware. And Patty, you're aware.
We're at my door.
But, okay, now I understand yeah, okay. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything?
Do you want to go ahead and clarify their street closure motion? Take care of that.
I
Yeah.
make a motion, we close Jefferson Street on the 27th in the afternoon.
Of July.
27th.
Second.
All in favor?
Andrew Akers, I'm the director of the library. Nice to finally make it to a board meeting. I'm just here to request an exemption on the $50 service fee we pay to the police to come to an alarm call at our library. Just as a tax-paying, or as a receiver of taxpayer funds, we're just trying to be as conscious about the money we're spending as we can. We want to make sure that, we're spending it in the right way possible. Didn't know about the call or the fee until I got one, so that's why I'm kind of here asking questions, trying to get some information. My board suggested I stop by here and get some information from you folks.
Okay.
The first one, though,
I
I
believe
thought
there
they'd
was
actually
two.
seem, and typically what we do is we send a letter per the police department and the request of the ordinance that we put in place. So if we've missed that, I apologize, but I do believe we sent a letter, and maybe that wasn't something that got to your hands.
It might have been.
When we send that notification letter that there's an ordinance in place, and it's kind of a first offense, it's waived. So this is probably the second time that we sent that bill to you.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
Okay.
Just to kind of clarify.
Okay.
Well, guys want to have a discussion of this? Or
How
I
many
mean,
times
you want
has
to
it
waive
gone
the
on?
fees on a,
More, the question is, do we want to
Before
waive the
this.
fee? Apparently, second time.
All the other times that I remember it going off, there was actually somebody breaking into the library.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about the ones when there's been actual breaking.
We've never done it before, I guess, is my first thought.
Well, I think there's a difference between a private entity and a taxpayer.
Well, that would be a modifier to the situation, yes.
Is it a malfunctioning?
No, I think the issue, the last time, the one that I was aware of, it's just an old building, and the door sensors the doors themselves are kind of old and loose. Door sensors don't get a good contact sometimes when somebody tries to open it when it's locked. And I think that's what set it off the last time.
Who's your company?
Malhups in Indianapolis.
Okay. Well, I would move we forgive it this time, but we can't.
Encourage it to be repaired?
Yeah, encourage anything you need repaired, get repaired.
We've already paid. It was a couple months ago, actually. That we
Okay.
had talked about my board, but yeah, we are looking at it getting fixed. The issue is just it seems like that door itself is just loose enough that if you give a good hard yank, thinking it's unlocked, it loses contact and trips that alarm.
Well, so you are looking into repairs on it?
Yeah, we're looking at doing a lot of repairs on a lot of things in that building. But yeah, that was something that they wanted me to bring forward to discuss. If that could be an exemption we could get just as a taxpayer.
We're just adding money on the
Building.
taxpayers.
I would say once you get your repairs made, maybe you can come back and we can revisit it.
Oh, we just want to take care of it tonight?
He made a motion.
I mean, he's talking about
In
waiving the
future.
future. You just talked about you weren't sure you wanted to do that.
Well,
Once the repairs are made and the doors.
in other words, if it happens again before the repairs,
Right.
well, that puts a little pressure on them.
Make the motion for that.
I just did.
mean,
I motioned
Is there a second?
to let it go, but they better get it repaired. We can't continue to do this.
I'd second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I want to add one more thing for block party. We would also like to use the north side of High Street for the block party. So that in addition would be closed as well.
I mean, it's pretty much blocked off.
Yeah, but formality wise.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we can make a motion for that.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Got it.
You're gonna need signs from the town, or you for closing it? Do you need signs from the town?
That would be preferable if we can.
Anybody else? You guys? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're up, Nick.
I don't have anything to report.
There we go. Move right on.
Not for public.
Good for you.
Is this on?
Is this on? Yes.
Ready?
Okay, I've got a lot, but I'll be quick. Claims 228, 31283. I believe that was the end of the month, and then we've got our first May 335, 4732 are my two claims totals. If anybody has any questions, we can look at.
Not really
those.
question, just comment. You know, I see we've paid, this pickleball court is done.
Yes, and in use. I saw it in use
Okay.
yesterday.
Oh,
Okay.
good. I hadn't seen anybody use it.
So that's good, good. $46,090 on that. Everything else pretty much standard. I
I'll
move.
make a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There was, Chris sent us an email like at 4:00.
I saw his email and I sent him back the information, so if there's any further, discussion that needs to be had. That was just the original, and I don't know if he was on board whenever the original
Yeah,
was spoke about.
yeah.
There wasn't any change in
Right.
cost. There was just a change in the layout of the
Right. Okay.
court
Okay.
itself. It basically became not a tennis court, two pickleball courts.
Right. But I know they resurfaced it with all the.
Yes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Adjustments are 230742, and I think those are, methods,
I'll make a motion to
some
approve.
corrections.
Second.
Leak adjustments, still people are having quite a few leaks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a resolution that's kind of a repeat resolution, but we did need an updated one for our Oprah planning grant that Cindy had that she put together. It's basically the $10,000 from the general fund. She's going to be finishing up working on our application so we can get it submitted. Our survey link is still open, or the surveys are still here in the office if anybody wants to participate in that. She's still taking letters. I received one letter from DES, so I appreciate that support. But anybody else that has any letters of request that they'd like to submit, Cindy would be welcome to add those with our application. So I have resolution number 2024-02 for the $10,000 from general fund for the Oprah planning grant.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's a favor, non-favor there on that. We previously had sent an email communicating with you all about the lease agreement with, it used to be Sparklight, it's now listed as Cable One. They did increase that agreement cost to $1,000 per year, and this will be a 5-year lease.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Your name on that, please.
Sign it, then print it.
Just sign it. I'll take care of it. We got our Keystone Voice renewal for our software system. It seems to increase about $2,000 every year. I do have a meeting Wednesday with the representative from Voice. I had voiced some concerns about their software and some of the issues that we've had with them. So we are going to go over some of those issues, but I don't feel that that really changes anything with our software system expiring in July. So that total, it'll be for the year's renewal is $11,435.
I move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just sign it and I'll sign it and scan it back to them, please.
Okay.
Let's see, the Mike Jeffries reached out to me on our farm agreement. It's kind of a repetitive, once a year agreement. We list those as Rockville fields known as Rockville 5 and Rockville 7 per the land agreement. This is a year-to-year, basically it states that Mr. Jeffries shall only plant the crops in the fields after the town is needed for land applications of biosolids to said fields. Like I said, there isn't any language changes in that agreement if you all are in favor of continuing to let him as the farmer.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then reached out to Gibson Teldative on a phone system for our move whenever we're ready. They are probably anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks out, so we'd like to get something started on a phone system that we can change over. I've sent the quote out. If anybody has any questions about it, I can try to answer that. That'll basically get us 2 of the main things. We need a switch and a fiber or a firewall protection there. It'll get the office staff phones along with the utility plant and the fire department to get going, and then as we get that established, then we can add on to police department, cemetery, the other locations that will need to still have phone systems or internet.
So it costs $30 a month to have a phone, is that correct?
Yeah, the way that's being charged on, we have a charge for a phone and we charge for the internet that we have currently through Bloomingdale, which our internet won't change. We're not looking to do anything like that. It'll just change with the phone. So the cost wise on that is pretty much the same within a few dollars. Overall, monthly would, I think, go down like $20 a month.
Okay, so we own the equipment?
There was a
5-year term.
There was 5 years, we talked about that. I think it was after 5 years, maybe it was kind of a leasing thing, but this was just an upfront cost, and then the equipment would be ours.
Okay.
We would just be adding as needed from this particular quote moving forward. So the gist of that cost is that switch and firewall protection.
So Yeah, I assume the switch, who installs this stuff? Does our Gibson does?
They take care of everything and they'll take care of training.
Have they
as
seen the
well.
facilities down there?
They have not, but they are familiar with Randy Cleaver, and Randy's not only the IT, he's contracted with the county, but then he does work for us. So Randy was able to give the guy from Gibson kind of an overview of what Randy got eyes on that building earlier last week. So he's familiar with what they need.
I think maybe this is who we went to when we got new phones at the courthouse.
Yeah, this is the same person actually, and then I think he told me that the sheriff's department just went with them about a year ago. They upgraded their phone system out there. So Randy's familiar with the system. He knows what they'll need. The guy at Gibson, when we're ready to make this move, if we go with them, he will go down to the fire station and check stuff out there too, because there's a lot of communication between us and the fire station. So we'll make sure he has eyes on that building before anything's done.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, see you. All in favor?
Aye.
I have one more thing. I think this is an acceptance thing that I will do on the computer, so I'll document that. But I do have a payout for B&T, and I'm not sure that I clarified it. Wanted to make sure that since it's not in here with claims, I wanted to get approval on it to be added because they have been waiting. This is a fund. It's $620,671.75. It's basically the next payout for B&T, and this is a South Market project invoice for them. This particular $620,000 is basically a reimbursement. I'm utilizing the rest of the $700,000 from the Okra fund. So basically, I'm getting the money into the bank on Wednesday, and I'd like to be able to go ahead and pay that app out to B&T this week.
Okay, so that's not South Market, that's Okra.
I'm sorry, Okra Water.
Yeah, okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. So it's basically in and out on that as far as the funds, but that will clear up the $700,000 that we received from Okra.
Okay.
I could just get approval to pay that
I'll
on
move on
Wednesday.
that.
Second.
All in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
That's all I have right now.
Did it?
Thank you.
Did we do the change order?
I marked it off because there were
Oh.
some changes for that, and
Okay.
we're not sorry about that.
Okay.
Bill, are you ready?
So, in April of 2024, we had 376 calls, 10 of which were potentially violent. Had 32 cases, 7 crashes, 1 impounded vehicle, 6 alarm calls, 5 arrests, 46 ECWS entries, 0 felonies, 8 misdemeanors, 12 infractions, 2 ordinance violations, and 43 warnings. April of 2023, we had 630 calls, 32 crashes, 32 cases, 2 crashes, 1 impound, 11 arrests, 68 entries, 14 felonies, 17 misdemeanors, 12 infractions, 6 ordinance violations, and 58 warnings. Patrolman Hannah Gentile completed the Manadro training. Patrolman Brady Walters completed the Bulletproof Mine training. We have several properties scheduled for court on May 14th for their properties. And also would like permission to, in the future, sign the CHIRP grant, and I'd like to apply for the LCC grant to get local coordinating council.
What's LCC?
Local coordinating council, they deal with like education and enforcement of drug violations. So we'd like to ask them for some money to get some drug test kits.
And that CHIRP thing, is it administered like the CHIRP, the LSCC? It's like there's a regional administrator, like this goes to what, Attica's the...
Attica is, the chief of police at Attica is the director of the CHIRP
For this
our
region,
area.
yeah. Okay.
And
So it's
there's multiple different little groups.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that you apply for the grant.
Is there any match? Or it's just a grant?
So the LCC, there's no match. The CHIRP, what it is we pay the officer for the overtime worked, and then after we pay the overtime, we submit a claim to the state, and then the state pays it back. So it's basically kind of like if the officer works, we pay the money, and they kind of, we kind of loan, the town loans them the money until the state reimburses it.
And the chirps are, that's the seatbelt.
It used to be called click it or ticket.
Yeah. You
And then-
move?
I do.
I'll second.
Need a second? All in favor?
It's bulletproof mind training. It sounds
Yeah.
like something I need.
So, I've not actually been to it, but I'm told that it's kind of like an officer survival type of training to kind of get your mind right and get you looking at the things you need to be looking at to survive any kind of encounters. Also, we had a rock hit Trace Anderson's windshield and cracked it. And we also, I think, may have already told you guys about Brady's vehicle getting hit in training. So both of those have been submitted to insurance, and we're going to be scheduled to get the Brady's vehicle fixed on Monday, and Trace's will be fixed this Wednesday. So that's all I have.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Doug?
I don't have a whole lot. Martin Street storm drain has all been installed. We have a little bit of cosmetic work to do. So if you've not had time to run down there, it's looks real good. We
Yeah,
lined
it looks
opened
really,
it
really
up.
good, Doug. Now, what's the treatment on the top? Are you going to make us?
We're going to kind of rake it out, smooth it out a little bit, and we're going to Durapatch over it.
Yeah.
And just kind of seal it up.
Yeah, really. The worst night. Of course, you haven't pushed the pipe back from the road some.
Yeah, on the north side, which is the side people run off mostly, is so I went ahead and we dug it back a little further to get the pipe off of the road a little bit. So I took more rock.
Why are they running off the road?
Well, it's narrow for one. It's pretty narrow.
But yeah, it looks great.
So and then we got some storm drain grates we had to order that they should be here this week. And like I said, we'll get that Durapatch over top. But I think it was a great addition to Martin Street. So if you hadn't had time to do, drive down and see it.
You
Pretty
guys
nice.
trimmed some trees down there too?
Yeah, we got a few trees, and we're going to go back down and cut the several more trees out. So just kind
It
of
looked brighter.
yeah, it does. So that's what we're going to try to get rid of, some more of that, and then. But yeah, please drive by and take a look at it. And then the pool is full. For you guys that know, it's at 70 degrees as of today.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're moving right along. The new sand filter had come in that we had to purchase for the baby pool. It is installed. He's finishing cleaning up it. Should have the baby pool running by the end of the week and everything. So
When do we start water testing?
He said he's
I think
taking a
it's-
couple next week.
yeah, I think it was next week. He said start testing water. So we're moving along that, and then for the ones that haven't noticed over here on Jefferson and High, where that was real bad, we had complaints during the festival. We got that poured last week. We just got some cosmetic work around it. We're going to finish up. Then I was telling Dave about. So I thought it turned out real nice. And then Beetle Street, Matt Collum, and then we'll be returned tomorrow morning to finish that up. And he said when they plan on staying, getting it as quick as they can. So they will be back tomorrow.
They've got their parts or tools
Yeah.
needed. And
Yep. He said when I called him today, he was lowering a tank somewhere on another job, but was going to return in the morning. So
They can't finish that in a day, can
no.
they?
But it shouldn't take real long. I mean, the deep part's over.
So, concern, our one property, the furthest north property, you know, the beautiful mound they have out there, the landscaping, how that's mounded up. There's, you know, we cut down some of the trees, but there's that one mound.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression that's going to get just wiped out in this process. I guess my suggestion is take a few pictures.
Yes, I took some
to
pictures of the trees.
See how
when,
it's
so-
supposed to be
Okay.
to put back, because I'm worried we're going to really
Okay.
tear that area up. And it'd be nice to know what it should look like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll get some pictures in the morning of that.
Well, thank you.
And then there are couple other things I want to tell you about. One is on 036. I kind of talked to Dave about it a little bit. They hit a line bored in the new water main.
What kind of line?
Service line going over to the 4 houses on 36.
I mean, water
Water line.
Okay.
Yeah. And all of our maps show it being 2-inch, and it's actually 3 1-inch copper lines going over down into a baffle of 1.5 inches. Well, that is
Okay.
very hard to find. We don't keep a lot of parts for 1.5 inches. So just letting you know, B&T is going to work up a price of maybe boring that in and going to a 2-inch and all that, because it's 1.5 inches and it's thin wall. We're on the 4th leak over there now. and you can't really get to it with us. So they're just going to give me a price. I'll give you a heads up. I'll be bringing that too.
How many feet you think you're gonna run?
It'll be a few hundred feet. I'm not sure exactly. We're going to go lay it out tomorrow for him, so he can get a price on it. But it'll be going from 1.5 inches, which is really, like Dave can tell you, parts are just you use a lot of barb fittings, and that's not good.
It's not standard.
So while he's there, we thought we'd get a price. And then the other thing I was wanting to bring up, Dave and I have been in talk on this for a little bit, and Sean finally sent this to me, but this is a price for a new restroom at Beechwood Park. That one's old. It needs updated.
Okay, now we're talking not the pool house, but the baseball.
No, over by the baseball field. He'll be tearing that one down, leaving the floor, using the floor, and going back up with a metal building. All new stainless steel inside. Everything will be stainless steel. Be handicap accessible, ramps, and all this and that. So it's something Dave and I got. I've only got a price from him because it was just something him and I talked about. I wanted to present it to you guys tonight, see where you guys were at and what to do. It all done and everything. Sean doing it all. That's heat, insulation, and all that.
I would mention that.
Huh?
With the price?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
maybe
we'll
not
have to
yet.
get it out.
Yes. Okay.
Stainless steel's not cheap.
Oh no.
But I mean, we're looking at, with the Veterans Memorial down there, it's gonna be more people down there.
traffic.
That bathroom's outdated. I think you
Oh,
got.
that's
So-
So same footprint, same size.
Yes, basically. The only thing that'll change inside being that you got to go to handicap accessible. So we'll lose a sink in each bathroom instead of using a urinal or something like that. I thought a sink we could.
Have we requested, do we have any other bids coming in?
No, because this was just the beginning to see where everybody was at, so I could contact.
Well, has the park board seen this?
No, we've not. I just received that.
That's just something me and Doug's been talking
Yeah,
about. Just
see where we was at. Because like I said, with the memorial thing down there, you're going to have, handicapped people and
Right.
And that, I don't know when that building was built, years and years ago, so,
Older than me, if you can believe it.
well, we're lucky it's still standing.
I know.
Try to get a few more bids, I suppose, and when you go and deal with stainless steel, of course, he's doing the building and just buying the fixtures.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go to get some quotes, but
Amish, they do these buildings.
Amish has not answered any of my phones.
Really?
And last I talked to a person that drives for them, said they don't like doing work for utilities. Too much paperwork. They've never returned my phone call. Any of the
Okay.
buildings I've tried.
Who put up Montezuma's bathrooms, do you know, at the
I
park?
do know.
They did the roof at the.
I know it, but I went and talked to them in person and everything. I will get AC Electric. They're doing Benjamin's.
well, there you go. They're doing complete build, ground up
Yep.
stuff
So
now.
I will
That'd
get
be
them
an
on
idea.
it and everything.
So the specs, how'd you come up with the specs?
You mean the size of the building, or just
You're building the same concrete
Yes.
pad before, but then it's just the materials. I mean,
Sean? He's worked with it before and talked to a guy with all the stainless steel, and then he followed all the ADA guidelines. Everything went off of that. So, like I said, we will be losing a sink.
kind of heat. You're heating. We're heating those.
Well, we went ahead and got a price just because
Okay.
we don't have to. We never
in the
have.
Spring a lot of times.
So, but no, I thought while he's doing it, we decided to go ahead and just let him throw that in. But that's something we can remove. I mean,
Well,
that's
if we're
not-
gonna heat and cool them, are we gonna leave them open year round?
Well, I don't know about cooling them, but heating them's one thing. Heating them just to, I don't know, something to talk about.
No.
Maybe just,
How big are those?
maybe
I
just
can't even
heated
visualize.
seats.
Two stalls?
Yeah. Women's got two stalls and.
I was thinking it was just.
Well,
Maybe
let
two
the park board needs to be involved.
We have a meeting the 16th, I think, but, and that has not been in any budget, so
Yeah.
that may not be in park board budget, so
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
something else.
We might be looking for help.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that's
But it does need desperately done.
Yes.
It's been needed. It's
For-
disgusting.
40 years.
Yeah, they're terrible.
yeah.
They're terrible.
Yep. So that's all I have. No, I don't need to purchase anything.
Oh, good job.
Hurry up, let's move on.
Thank you, Doug. You want to go over anything?
Yeah, real quickly, we'll run through a couple of things. So the South Market project's moving right along. Appreciate the businesses on the west side of the square being understanding of the contractors. We talked about it, they're a little bit ahead of schedule, but they've moved in, so they're gonna try to get in and out of there the best that they can. I went to the commissioner meeting earlier and we spoke about that and the grading and sidewalks. Everything's fine there. The commissioners are in complete support of everything. There has been several questions. I wanted to revisit the whole brick. People continuously ask me. The commissioners did offer that if the engineers were there and to be hauled out to Montezuma to be dumped if that was the location. I don't know that that's feasible to send people out that way. If we could maybe just dump them here, but that's kind of Doug. I don't know what your feelings are about that, having them back here versus if they wanted to haul them. I understand that there's already a bundle of them up there that somebody's coming to get this evening. So I'm sure that people are going to be out there as long as they're staying out of the contractor's way and not during while they're working. And we had an issue with some little kids playing on equipment up here last week of an evening. So we really got to be careful about people getting into things. The contractors do a good job of putting the barriers there for a reason. So I just like to ask that people respect their property. But there is an option of bricks, and I have a lot of people that want them.
Well, they're not. They're just scooping them up.
I don't know what condition they're going to be in. We're not
they're
going
tough
out there
bricks.
and piecing them, you know.
They're tough.
Last for a while.
So the question is, where do we want to put them?
Don't we already have some down there?
And how do you want to make that available if you want to make it available to public? Like I said, I understand that somebody already talked to the contractor up there today and there's a little pile.
Yeah, he just
So,
left a little pile there for a
If they
few
get there,
people.
if they get there before somebody else gets
Yeah.
there. So, I mean, we're not
Well,
putting names on them either,
I don't
so.
think we'll ever haul them all over to Montezuma. Which is
That was just, the commissioners were just offering if we
Right,
needed a
right.
location.
We have the room down there to.
It's really tight. I mean, because B&T's got their equipment, Info's got their equipment, they got their supplies. So really, it'd be hard to find somewhere. Plus, then you got the safety of people coming in after hours down there
Well, I wouldn't allow them in after
and
hours.
everything.
But
So we could find an area for a couple loads probably. if people
yeah,
want
okay,
to
I
come.
like that alternative. Let's take a few loads down there and find out where the commissioners had spot for the rest of them
Yeah.
over from
Probably over
Montezuma.
at the gravel pit.
Probably the gravel pit,
That's
would be
where
my
they
guess.
were wanting to dump them.
That
You may
way.
want to, several times Greg Larson down at Billy Creek had queried me about whether they're just brick, if they do want to palletize them, and if they could have them, blah, blah, blah. You might contact him, and he might have a place down at Billy Creek that you could dump them for him to root through them, and, because he's talking about putting in new walks down Billy Creek and patios and approaches like that with those bricks. So it might be something that you could haul right down the hill.
Well, there's an
Contact him,
alternative
Michelle.
too. But we need an answer quick because they're going to be
Oh, they're
loading them up.
they're doing it now.
Yeah, I
they're-
mean, it's going on right now.
Take
Yeah,
the-
they're gonna be
Say
gone.
we put as much as we can at the yard
Okay.
before we spend time.
Well,
alone.
you see what
Okay.
we can do. The rest of it's either Montezuma or we can somebody get hold of Larson, and you have a contact for him.
I've got one.
I'll share with whoever tonight.
Okay.
Well, and if if somebody just wants to let him know to call me or call Doug, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm
Call that.
not gonna run people down to deliver bricks to them, but.
So I tell everybody,
if we
call
can put
Doug.
some here and then have the rest of them out in Montezuma, that'll give everybody an idea of where they're at and when they can get them.
Okay.
Community crossing Anderson Street, still waiting on some information on utility relocation. Back to South Market here, jumping around. Clearly it's closed now, so they're moving forward. The Stark, I'll be putting a bid submittal for advertising together pretty quickly on the Stark Street. We just need to be in contract within 4 months of our award letter, which our award letter was issued today. Parking lot still receiving some bids on landscaping, so I'm waiting on one more. I'll have 3, and I've shared those with you
When do you think that'll be?
this week.
Okay.
And then hopefully you can review those, send your suggestions if you like something but don't like something else. I think any of those landscape companies are subject to
Well,
making some.
my only input right now is we're a week into May already.
Yeah.
So we should have the other bid by, say, Friday.
Yeah, this week.
Okay. Well, my suggestion, or look over the bids this weekend, the plants and the layout, and we need to make a decision for our next meeting if we can. We need to get these people moving.
Well, if you get, I mean, we haven't, there's been some back and forth on each one of them, so if, it's a matter of having all three of them,
Right.
everybody voicing their concerns of what they like.
Well, my
and
point is, I
dislike,
hate to bring it up, the dirty word, another meeting, but we really need to, the faster we move on this, the better. I mean, we're going to be into June in.
I agree. I mean, I think if the emails go out, we all need to look at them. Make your suggestions, what you want to do, or what you think we should do, and that way we can have a
productive meeting.
Quick meeting.
Quick meeting,
and get,
yes.
We need
We'll
48.
be into June here before.
We need 48-hour notice, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can't set one. Well, we don't know when we'll have. Well, shoot, it has to be what 40, not including weekends, right?
We'll wait till we see when that last bid comes in.
Okay, so
Maybe tentatively next Wednesday. What's next Wednesday?
I gotta work the mall. Well, I can do it next Wednesday.
I can be here in the morning.
Evening. I can do early morning.
I can be here whenever, pretty much.
10 to 5, I'm booked. Well, actually, 9
I can
to
be here
5.
in the morning.
I can do early morning, 8, 7. Anyway,
about 8?
I'm good. We'll get the other thing. We'll see.
You're way too chipper to see at 7 in the morning.
The flagpole should be, I've left a message, I didn't hear back from them today, but he was telling me that the flagpole should come in the 1st of May, so they should be installing that. I just asked him to call me when they do. I do have to take photos and kind of share that information back with the grant. As far as, I don't know if DES has anything to add on our drinking water and our project there. DES, Cindy, and myself are the only attendees for the meeting this morning. We're going to try to have Monday morning meetings to go over some things. So if anybody has any additions or comments or anything that they want to share with that, we didn't have a whole lot to discuss any different. But Luke, if you want to comment, feel free to. And then Doug's already clarified too. I've been asked numerous times about columns, but it sounds like they're going to be back tomorrow. So that is kind of the follow-up on projects, if anybody has any additions.
The only thing I've got to add to the water, as Doug mentioned, they hit that 1.5 service line and had to work, I think, 3 hours of overtime yesterday. He's going to have to bill for it. It'll go into the incidental line item on the project, so it's already kind of figured in, but that's just kind of variance from what we expected. Should be pretty minor. Oh, and right before this meeting, I got a change order for the mercury switches down at the plant. They sent us a $10,500 mercury switch change order. Mercury switches were never identified in the bid documents or the PER, never on anything, and they can be changed. Troy said they were in good condition before they fixed them, it sounds like. And they changed them and sent us a bill for them. So,
Well, who's the sub on that?
what's the plumber? Isn't it Harvey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, gosh.
So,
It wasn't in any scope of work?
and they don't seem to know who they got
It's not in-
told to
it's not in the
do it
project.
from, so.
It's on the original.
Well, we can't pay for it then.
No.
Yeah.
It's not in the grant. It's not in the grant.
I certainly wasn't going to approve it before I talked to you guys. So.
I would say no.
What they do with the old ones?
Okay.
So they could reinstall the old ones.
But they were still fully functional, correct? Okay. So if they were broken, it'd be a little bit of a different story, but just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention.
So nobody knows how it
Kinda need
happened
to-
or why it came about?
Haven't heard anything about it.
I guess I just need a decision from you guys on what to
Well, it's-
relay back to them.
I mean, I think Luke's trying to explain the fact that those are billed back to BNT through that change order, or through the pay app, correctly?
No, that was a change order. That
Okay,
was
so it
fully a
wasn't
change
in,
order.
it's not
I
in
think it's
B&T's
separate.
pay app then?
Correct. But they're
Okay.
asking for payment for something you didn't tell them to do. so.
And do you have the bill, it's a change order from the plumber itself?
From B&T is what I received. I don't even have it printed out. I just got it, but it was from B&T.
Well, I went through B&T, that's a sub, whoever this plumber is, a sub,
Yeah.
B&T's a general, so they have a bill from them. Well, it needs to be explained, why did they change them? Apparently it's not in the contract, there's not in the specs, so why did they change them? And then perhaps they should take them back, because it doesn't appear they're gonna be paid. I mean, what else do you want us to tell you tonight?
I'm just not going to approve or disapprove something.
I say don't approve it.
Well, I'd say, yeah, I move not to approve until we get further information.
Put a second.
Second.
All in
Not to
favor?
approve,
Uh,
period.
I mean,
Well, we need to find out a little more, but it sounds like it's, yeah, no, doesn't sound right.
I guess what would be the action you guys would like to take? You want them removed and the
I
old
would say
reinstalled?
replace the ones that were fully functioning before they were removed and get their money back for the ones they brought.
And there's no reinstallation problems as far as I can describe.
That sounds good.
but we're absolutely sure that they did not need to be replaced.
Absolutely. Oh, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Was anybody down there? Does anybody know? I mean, anybody know?
I wasn't down there. I don't know if anybody from the town was down there or not. When they were playing. As far as I know, there wasn't. Like, just wanted to make sure it was unlocked that day before we come down there.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
got anything else for what?
Peerless was there Friday and reinstalled the motor for well number 8, so it's back up and running.
Okay.
Troy?
The only thing, I think, Randy, I don't know if you hit on it, was you guys are still doing the lead?
Yes.
Okay. But it's not, deadline's approaching.
Yep.
I know.
And they sent those mailings out as well.
Customer
120
surveys?
did, yeah. And
Okay.
I've been getting those back, and those are fine to continue to come back here to us. We're forwarding those on, but yeah, they did take care of sending those.
Have you identified any that you're probably gonna have to back up or unknowns that you're gonna have to back?
No.
I know you guys qualify for funding, they'll pay for that backing,
And we got
for that.
the second part of that grant too. I applied for it and got the second portion as well.
Did you get some of the identification stuff?
Yes,
So that, I think that'll cover it, so.
yes.
And we've been keeping records of the lead that we removed from the taps and all that. That way, when they do come back and tell us, we can still get, my understanding is we can still file then and get reimbursed. So we're getting pictures, addresses. So,
Probably so that stuff always creeps up on you.
yeah, it does.
Here before you know it.
Well, that moves us on to old business. We're done with this.
May I?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, just a few things. What's the status of the Verizon wireless tower, temporary tower thing for the festival? Where are we at on that? Did you answer It looked like I saw where you
They
answered
should
the
have the
question.
information.
So it appears they can't use the existing tower down there. They, whatever reason, I saw
I
that.
think it's a weight bearing issue there,
Oh, okay.
possibly.
So they had 3 potential spots, and I assume the one there at the parking lot, the corner of the parking lot over there is probably the most desirable one. Is that
Oh,
right?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just checking. So that's moving forward. Okay. Next thing, we have an email last week. I think Brandy sent something out today, forwarded it to. I'm not sure where everybody got last Friday or Thursday, but from IMPA about our quarterly meeting. We usually do that like at a noon time. Looking at the schedule that I'm trying to deal with, they had 2 weeks already blocked off, the May 27th and June 10th. So I was looking at June 3rd at noon. I mean, it's usually when we do them. I mean, Chad, good Lord, Doug. Is that good for you? Oh, getting old's not fun, guys.
Newspaper, him.
No kidding.
But yeah, is that good?
That works for me.
June 3rd, you said?
Yeah.
I'll try to be here.
IMPA, June 3rd. So we need to confirm with Dirk here, but we'll hopefully that'll work. Get that off the to-do list. So there's some Doug started it all. Blame it on him. Had a call from NDOT a week or so ago about NDOT wanting to run sewer down
Yes.
to our northern
Yes.
point on 41 North. You mentioned the regional sewer district thing that's in the works, and apparently they went ahead and contacted Westler about that. So they've talked, which is good. This could change the whole design on that side because it was originally it's been split into two force mains, one down Bloomdale Road, one down Marsh Road. This could move that force main down NDOT because they intentionally avoided 41 because the right-of-way issues with NDOT. But if they want to put one in, then maybe we can. So they're talking. The question is, I mean, if that RSD, the Regional Sewer District, does not work out, I mean, is there any problem? The board at one point will have to say yay or nay. Can they hook onto our line out there in 41 North? It's very small flow. I mean, it's just a.
Yeah, it's gonna be the highway garage out there. It's gonna be in the same location, same area out there.
The only thing I knew, I guess why they were wanting to build was because they wanted to put in some big showers to wash the trucks down. But maybe they don't have room out there and that's not gonna happen.
Where, with the road building?
Yeah,
No, the last time I talked to him, they said that's where it's going.
okay.
So.
Well, so they didn't need an answer now, but they plan on doing this in 2025.
Yeah, so they're planning on building the building. And then like all their other state stuff, they don't want septic systems. Trying to avoid all that.
Right, they
do all
right.
that, so they need to tie on.
So I guess right now it's just informational. There's a couple options there. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of it.
So
okay, quarterly NDOT 2025. Blah blah blah. I guess we don't have to get into it much tonight, but Brandon and I went down there a week or two, I don't know when it was, sometime recently, and walked RMC, marked off stuff that they took or are keeping, and oh, well, the one thing we need to get figured out, and maybe we can get with Bill walked out, it looks like, but some things we can work with the same contractor, I think, on doing some wall moving. Some of the more and then lettering out front for the RPD and town board. Some of the other stuff's going to be, I guess what I'm saying, we would kind of act as the general contractor here.
I think if you just get a general contractor and just whoever they decide to sub out to is who they sub out to.
Well, there's not that much there, I guess, Ian, is what I'm looking at.
But not every contractor has the manpower to do the stuff that we are wanting done, and they would sub it out anyway. So
Yeah.
I think if you just open it up for bid into one general contractor and the HVAC work or whatever, or security alarm work, they would just sub it out to whoever, so you don't have to farm it out to 8, 10 different people, and you write a check to one person instead of having 9 different final walkthroughs to go, is this correct? And you
Right.
with one contractor. It's just my thought, and it's what Bill and I talked about. But.
Well, we need to get that moving forward. What is today? 6. You guys want to try to get this going by next week? 13th.
It can all move because we don't know when we actually get keys, do we?
Be next week, maybe.
We can't open anything up to.
I would go ahead and put your stuff out. Whatever you guys have put together, leave our side out of it for now. Go ahead and put that out there for what you guys are looking at, because I really feel like yours is going to take more than what I'm going to need, and I actually can probably get a contractor in there much quicker than what you guys will be able to get in.
Well, they have a lot more going on.
Yeah. So
So
I
they-
would go ahead and don't let me be a holdup for what you guys want to put out there.
Okay, well, let me just add, for example, on lettering, we want to use the same company, the same style, stuff like that for the front of the building.
Which, like I said, I think, if they go ahead and move with what they want, but if I find a company ahead of time, I'd be happy to work with that contractor and let them know that rather than subbing it out to whoever they may want to, this is the look that we want. So
we got to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep moving forward. That's my point. We don't want to drag this out all summer. People ask me, when do you think you'll be in there? I'm telling everybody in the third quarter, which is September 30th. And we're hoping, obviously I think we'll be sooner. The police may be longer, but we should be sooner. We don't have that much to do on our side. A couple walls, boom, bada bing. We're good to go, right?
Because everything always just goes.
Everything always goes smooth, Liddy. Always.
I guess, since Bill's outside talking to that lady, I guess the wish of the board is to move forward and open that up for bid and get that moving, correct?
Yeah, but you gotta run by what you're specking out, I guess, to us.
Right,
You
so-
kinda did, but it was kind of,
Final decisions.
well, you kinda did. Where's your list? You had a list. Anyway, we need to keep it moving. That's the main point. I think it's all right.
Would you like to look through your notes? some
Well,
more?
I know there's something else, but okay.
The only thing I wanted to note on there, Dave, if you don't mind, that just some of the recurring complaints and things that come to my office is now that we're in the mowing season, not to blow your grass into the road. And when you're burning trash, it's clean wood only, not your garbage. So, people will call all the time and want to file those complaints. I'm sure that everybody, as well as myself, has seen plenty of the grass clippings on the road. You know, people are complaining about it. They're not turning anybody in, so they're not ratting their neighbor out, but they are complaining here. So if you could just keep that to a minimum off the road and with the trash, and everybody likes to enjoy a fire, but they don't want to smell the nasty. So, and those ordinances can be found on American Legal Publishing, or if anybody has any questions about them, they can contact me and I'll come up with that ordinance for them. Those are
Thank you very
my
much.
office complaints.
Okay, new business? Okay, public comment?
We talked about Colin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's new or old. Go ahead, Brand, you got something?
No, but I just wanted to, John, did you want to just introduce yourself since you came to the meeting? I didn't want to put you on the spot, but since you're here and we met last week, so if you just wanted to introduce yourself while you're here, you're welcome to.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm Johnny McCrory. I'm one of the new owners of WAXI Radio, and I'm kind of the news and sports director for our group of stations. And I live in Shelbyville. I'm based over there, but we have a new gentleman. He's keep referencing as a kid. I probably shouldn't, but it'll be a DePaul graduate, Josh Nally, who will become our morning show host and our news person here. So hopefully by June 1, you'll start to see him, and I'll bring him and introduce him. But in the meantime, I'm going to be the one stopping by and trying to catch up and learn a little bit about Rockville and Parke County that I do not know. And just look forward to meeting all of you and catching up on everything from regional sewer districts to South Market Street and all the other stuff that I've kind of picked up on here in the last handful of days. So we're excited to be here. Thank you.
Speaking of complaints, I'm sure you've heard they'd like their oldies back.
I know. Trust me, I know. I've told the people that I've engaged in, and I've traded messages with some. I always leave my cell phone number on those messages so they can feel free to call me if they want, and some have. And some of the discussions have gone okay, some haven't, and I understand all that. And I was telling Jim Meese at the end of the commissioners meeting, I said that there's two major things, obviously. There's the music and there's the Cubs. Now, not that this makes it forgivable by any stretch of the imagination, but I waited my entire life for 2016, so I'm a Cubs fan too, so I want to get that out there. The Cubs are a little bit more explainable. This doesn't make it okay, but in the fact that they charge, their fees have become exorbitant compared to, as much as I hate to say it, the Cardinals and some of the others that are out there. So when the sponsorship with Candy telling us it just wasn't going well this spring, we made the decision that we made. The music, you know, there's a fiscal reason there, sort of, but the music's emotional. It's not a business decision like the Cubs was. So I'm never going to use that as a reason. We could have paid a little bit more and done the music. We just thought as we kind of debated and argued, and trust me, we argued. I'm the minority owner of our group. Scott Huber is our general manager, who, by the way, is on 2 weeks of vacation right now and hasn't been through any of this just yet. So we debated for a long time, and it's country now. I'm not saying that to even give the hint, because I don't want to make that mistake of saying we're going to flip it back to something else. But are we listening? Yeah, we listen. Shelbyville has 18,000 people. That's the biggest town I've ever lived in. I grew up in East Central Illinois. I was born in Terre Haute. So do I know Rockville? No. Am I comfortable in this region? Yeah, I am. I mean, Shelbyville is by far the biggest town I've lived in, and we're in Greencastle. We have a station there. Up north in Rochester and Plymouth. And those are our regions now, along with Lawrenceville, Illinois, which we added this week when we bought this group from Dave Crooks. So it's going to be a little bit of a growing experience. I hope you'll bear with us, especially until Josh really gets his footing and we throw him to the wolves as a first-time radio employee. And I hope you'll stick with us, even if you don't like the music. And I'm not going to try to persuade anybody who doesn't like country, hey, you should listen to country. I'm not that stupid. But anybody who wants to call me, I'll be happy to give you my card. It's got my cell phone number on. You can call it anytime, and I'll be happy to have those talks. So whether it's music or anything else.
You got the card on you?
I do.
You have.
I don't have anything. I just wanted to make sure, since he showed up, that he was had an opportunity to introduce himself.
You're welcome.
I own the store right next door.
Yeah, we can wrap this up and get home.
Yeah.
I got one more thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I have some comments, we'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Apparently it is. Any other public comment? Kevin?
Just 3 different hats here. I think Park was going to bring it up, he did. Cemetery. We're short an employee since Adam's been gone. Mark is experiencing some issues, family issues with his father taking so much time. Rodney's a part-time employee. I've asked Park to present it to the board at various times. We need to advertise that specific job, cemetery assistant, whatever, trenches, what you want to call it. Somebody's going to make a career out of it. Mark's not getting any younger. He may not be there forever. And I realize it's going to increase the payroll because somebody has been hired to replace Adam, but he doesn't work for the cemetery. So we're looking at advertising for the job and hiring another employee specific to the cemetery, number one. Number two, since one of my fellow board members from the police commission, and I can't speak for them, but I would think that most of the people on that board would not be all for handing out exemptions for any reason on the alarms. I mean, you want to credit the guy because something was messed up and he fixed it, but I guess the slippery slope we started exempting people. Because it was decided a long time ago to make that fee and to make it what it is. So that'd be their thing. The third thing would be Main Street. We're going to be doing the circles with geraniums this year. Probably the week of the 18th. Also, the planters are on the west side of the square. Will they be affected by this construction?
Sidewalks aren't.
The sidewalks are not going to be affected in any way?
Of course, I don't know when they'll get to the sidewalks.
Well, they will until they start putting sidewalks in. I mean, I don't know what.
Are they putting new sidewalks like in front of Bonoma and all that? That'll be done?
Yes.
Those things are heavy as lead. They're hard to move.
Well, yeah, those have to be moved out of there.
Is there any timetable on that? We're going to be planting everything that week, so.
I wouldn't plan that.
I wouldn't plant those.
Yeah, I'd move them.
Get them out of the way.
So the sidewalks, we moved completely back to the storefronts.
Yes.
Doug, I'd talk to John tomorrow about that. Relay that to Kevin.
Where's a good place to put them?
And the ownership, the businesses are aware of that too, right? Those sidewalks, that's all the construction site,
Yeah.
the information of businesses. Okay, that's it.
just a ray of sunshine.
Luke, you got anything?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Awesome, good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.